Tell your story. Tell your story. I want everybody who's been watching this channel to go to the comment section below and comment, I will tell my story. And I'm not doing that to get a bunch of comments. I'm not doing that to get a bunch of likes. I'm doing that because what that will do is when you comment and you write something down saying, I will tell my story, you are reaffirming it in your head. And that'll give you better probability that you will actually do it. Everybody has a story. You have a story. I'm talking to you. You have a story from the time that you were born, when you were growing up, what you do in life till now. It's all a big story. I don't want you to think that your story is invaluable. Don't listen to people who tell you like, oh, you just do this and that's it. Your story is unique. Your story is valuable, and we need that. That's why I'm saying, tell your story. Write it down. Start off with big events in your life that you talk about. Write those things down. Try to really analyze them and describe them in great detail so that anybody who's reading that can read it and feel like they're right there with you. We don't have enough information from not just affordable housing property managers, but maintenance techs and office workers. We don't have their story. I don't know why people think like, oh, it's boring. Oh, he's office worker. He's pussy. Oh, he's office worker. He's not a real man. Oh, he's gay or what? And I'm not against gays or anything like that. If you're gay, that's cool. I got no problem with it. Okay, but what I do have a problem is people using the term gay in a derogatory manner. And if you're gay, I'm sure that you agree with me too. Okay, when people use the term gay as a negative connotation, as a less than, as not man enough. Okay, and those people who use that term, they got some fucked up shit in their head. Don't even follow them down there. I'm not even gonna follow them down there because it leads to nowhere and it's just gonna make you feel like shit. Okay, so your story is valuable. Even if you're not an office worker, fuck it, maybe you work in an oil rig or something. Write down your story. Tell your story, okay? Write it down on a piece of paper, even a little notes a day. That's what I do. I have the notes on my iPhone. Everybody has an iPhone. If you don't have an iPhone, you probably have a cell phone. If you don't have a cell phone, get a cell phone first before you start working on your story. Anyways, after you get your cell phone, pull out the notes app. You have that with you always. Write down these little notes. On my cell phone, I have the notes, and I have tons of notes that I create. So I have ideas to talk about when I create these videos, these informative videos where I'm trying to give you the best advice that I can give you, the best advice that I've learned in 10 years so that you don't have to make the mistakes that I did. And don't get me wrong, it's okay to make mistakes. Hell, I want you to make mistakes. I want you to make the mistakes where you will grow from them, where you won't get fucked up. You'll make a mistake and you'll be like, oh, well, okay, I made a mistake. I can grow from this. And then you keep going. I don't want you to make a mistake where you're having to pay for it 2-3 years later, you're still paying for it. That's not a mistake. That's fucking torture, okay? I don't want anybody to go through that. So making mistakes is part of growing, okay? But I don't want you to make those mistakes, so that's why I'm giving you all this good advice so that you can have like a streamline to success, so you can streamline your success, okay? That's what I want. I want to bring up everybody around me. I want to bring them up, because if I can bring up everybody around me, me by default will be elevated, okay? That's the mindset that you want to have, and that's the mindset that I have. So tell your story, write it down. I don't have a copy with me. I do. So I wrote my autobiography. This is just a first draft. So when you write an autobiography, it'll be like a first draft. This is a first draft. That's why it's so thin. Then I had a final draft, which is much thicker. And then I had another draft, which has the illustrations, which is like the more of the final draft. But see, I've done it. You can do it too. Write down your autobiography, write down your story. That information that you're putting out there is going to be valuable to somebody else. Okay, someone else is going to get that information and is going to learn from it. And we need more people to do that. You're probably asking yourself, what does this have to do with affordable housing property management? Well, if you're an affordable housing property manager, this is for you too. Tell your story. Because the more information you put out there, the more knowledge, the more wealth of knowledge that you're putting out there, the bigger and stronger this industry is going to get. Okay? This industry is getting bigger and bigger by the day and getting stronger. But we're also relying on a lot of information and processes that were written 20 years ago, 10 years ago. We're relying on it. And yeah, I get it. A lot of this stuff, we keep it around because it works and it's good, and it's good to know how to do things. It's good to know how the industry is run, and it's good to know how the business practices were put into place and how they operate and how they've been operating for the past 100 years. Okay? But you also need innovation. And the only way we can get innovation is if more managers and more office workers start coming forward and start writing a book about their story and about their experiences and putting it out there. You know what Amazon KDP is? You could publish books on there. You literally just need a Word document or a PDF. You have your autobiography. Try to get like 80 pages. Try to get 80 pages. Try your hardest. You get at least 80 pages. Okay? And then you have that in a Word document. You create an Amazon KDP account, you upload it to Amazon KDP, and you published. You were a published author. You order some copies of your own book. Maybe you give some to your friends. You pass the link to somebody so they could sell it. There'll be some editing. Amazon KDP might be specific about editing. That's okay. I got through it. You can too. And then you're a published author, and then you've contributed to your field. And you're gonna feel good, because what happens really is that a lot of the times we're on our phones, we're on the internet, we're looking for that dopamine high, and afterwards it's gone, and then you feel like shit, and it's like you worked so hard looking for that dopamine high, and then you kind of get it, not really, and then it's gone, and then you feel like shit, and you're tired because you wasted so much energy. But when you create something, when you're in the process of creating, that gives you energy. If you've done it before, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you have to try it. But try building something, try creating something, and you will find that it magically just gives you that same energy that you would when you're scrolling through your phone, seeing funny shit on your phone. Okay? It's gonna make you feel good. You're gonna be rooted in reality because you've created something and you've contributed to the field, okay? That's why it feels so good. That's why it's tremendously good for your personal growth and your leadership as a manager, as an office employee, as a maintenance tech, as a worker, as a father, as a husband, as a brother, as a friend. This is gonna help you out a lot. Your story is valuable. Your story is unique. It's important. It's important that you share your story. It's important that you get to that level of transcendence, that level of growth, where you are writing down your life. You are reflecting. If you don't learn to internally reflect, you will negatively outward project. I'll say that again. If you don't learn to internally reflect, you will outwardly negatively project. And people don't deserve that, especially if you're managing the community. They don't deserve your outward negative projection. So learn to internally reflect. Write your story. Contribute to the field. We're waiting for you.